One would think that after yesterday's 3-hour match, Alexandra Eala wouldn't have the strength to stand. But no, the young Filipino player once again captivated the world. In a battle lasting over 3 hours and 18 minutes, Alexandra achieved a spectacular comeback to defeat the veteran Belgian player, Minnen, a top 70 player with extensive experience and numerous victories at major WTA tournaments. This shock is not just a victory, it's an affirmation. Alexandra is no longer a flash in the pan. She is a true warrior on the tennis court. A teenage athlete who dares to play and fight to the end, regardless of physical pain or the reputation of the opponent across the net. This win is not simply a step into the quarterfinals. It is a declaration sent to the rest of the tournament that even when her stamina is depleted, Eala's heart burns brightly with the desire to win. And now, she will face an even greater challenge. Viktorija Golubic a former WTA champion with a tricky playing style and extensive experience. Can Eala continue to write this fairy tale journey? If you want to follow her through every match and every decisive moment, subscribe to the Pro Tennis Stories 360 channel today to not miss any inspiring sport stories. When everyone is still stunned by the comeback against Minnen, Alexandra Eala is ready to step into the next challenge with determined eyes and a burning heart. This 19-year-old girl is not just playing for points, but for the ambition to prove that a young player from the Philippines can absolutely stand alongside the legends on the international court. Every shot, every time she pushes through a grueling point, Eala is writing a new chapter in Asian sports. But the journey is not over. The match against Viktorija Golubic could be the turning point that elevates Eala to the WTA elite. Or it could be a challenge to further temper her will and strategy. Whatever the result, one thing is certain. Alexandra has changed the way the world looks at a young player from Southeast Asia. And you, who are following her every step, will not want to miss any historical moments to come. Subscribe to the Pro Tennis Stories 360 channel today to continue supporting Alexandra Eala on her journey to conquer world tennis, as well as to discover the inspiring sports stories and moments of triumph that cannot be found anywhere else. The next chapter of Eala, which might be her greatest miracle, is waiting for you to witness. The difficult start, Eala's opening marathon match. From the moment Alexandra Eala stepped onto the Chinese court, the pressure weighed heavily on her. After long, 3-set victories in previous rounds, her body was already fatigued. But on this court in China, there was no room for hesitation. Minnen, an experienced Belgian player who had won major WTA matches, was an opponent anyone would consider a difficult hurdle to clear. In the first set, Eala started with a composure that surprised many. Contrary to predictions that she would be pressured, she pushed the pace, using her powerful forehand to apply early pressure. Minnen responded with stable shots and tried to drag Eala into long rallies. The two players constantly exchanged blows, struggling, but Eala maintained high focus. When the score went into a tiebreak, she tenaciously won the first set 7-5. The second set became the real test. Minnen surged powerfully, using slices to disrupt the rhythm. Eala was sometimes pushed back, pulled into extended points. Despite this, she did not falter. She kept her nerve, continued to dictate powerful shots, and didn't let her opponent win games easily. Minnen won the second set tiebreak, pushing the match into the decider. The third set was when everything was tested to the maximum. Both were tired. Both yearned for victory. Eala had to fight for every point, every small break, every game. She withstood Minnen's best moments. In the final game, she secured the decisive break and didn't let it slip, ending the match with a 7-5 victory. A marathon match where Eala not only survived but thrived. The physical challenge, when body and spirit face the limit. After more than 3 hours of tension, stamina became Eala's greatest enemy. Every step on the court, every racket swing felt heavier. Her heart pounded and sweat poured. Throughout the final set, her shoulders trembled several times as she gasped for breath. However, it was in that moment that viewers clearly saw Eala was not fighting with muscle, but with sheer will. Minnen used the very strategy of prolonging the points to wear down her stamina. She forced her into long points, used unexpected pace changes, trying to make Eala hit short or make mistakes. But Eala had learned to regulate her energy. When she needed to hit hard, she attacked. When exhausted, she played slowly, reducing the pace to recover. In the games where she was behind, she didn't rush, focusing on every small point to catch up. A crucial moment occurred in the 9th game of the 3rd set. Minnen was leading and had a chance to break, which could have finished Eala. But Eala didn't allow that to happen easily. She saved point after point with accurate returns, sometimes using a backhand slice to drag her opponent into a long rally, and then counterattacked continuously. The decisive shot was a cross-court forehand that Minnen couldn't return in time. That was the moment when physicality and technique converged to decide the match. Eala was not the strongest, but she was the one who knew how to take a punch and counter when her opponent left an opening. Strategy and grit when youth challenges experience. One of the key factors in Eala's victory was her ability to adapt her strategy flexibly during the match. Minnen was accustomed to imposing a stable, long rally playing style, tiring out her opponents. But Eala didn't let herself be led for long. She mixed in gentle drop shots, unexpected spins, and intensified powerful shots to break Minnen's structure. At one point, Minnen hit a low slice close to Eala's feet, but Eala returned it with a high spin topspin, forcing Minnen to move more and losing her rhythm. She was not afraid to risk. Several times she rushed to the net to seize the opportunity late in the game, executing a decisive volley. This varied approach made her opponent unpredictable. Furthermore, Eala showed remarkable mental control. When the score was tense and she was tired, instead of rushing, she proactively slowed down a few points to catch her breath and psychologically reset. She knew that the winner is not the one who shoots faster, but the one who is more patient. In the final game, when Minnen was leading, Eala didn't get frustrated, but focused on every shot, every small reaction to get the final break and end the match. The victory over Minnen was not just a shock. It was proof that youth, energy, and coordinated tactics can challenge all limits. Eala has just continued her miraculous journey, but the bigger challenge lies ahead. Golubic, a seasoned and experienced opponent. Can she continue the upset? Let's explore that in the next section. The decisive moment, when everything was tested. As they entered the final games of the 3rd set, both Eala and Minnen were exhausted. The stands roared with cheers, the lights illuminated the court, and the pressure felt heavier with every shot. Golubic was waiting in the future, but the demand for stamina and spirit had created a match within the match during the main event. In the 10th game, Minnen was leading and had a break opportunity. She could have used it to finish Eala, but Eala didn't allow that to happen easily. She saved point after point with accurate returns, sometimes using a backhand slice to draw her opponent into a long rally. Then, in one shot, Minnen hit the ball too low. Eala rushed forward, hitting a cross-court winner. The break was completed, and the momentum shifted. Next was Eala's 10th service game. Minnen pressured her with strong serves, but Eala defended patiently, waiting for her moment, then hit a sudden drop shot. Minnen rushed forward, returned the ball inaccurately, and Eala had a chance to attack. With a decisive smash, Eala ended the point, smiling in victory right on the court. That moment was more than just a break. It was a psychological turning point, a testament to her perseverance and well-timed strategy. Golubic awaits in the future, and Eala emerged from this marathon match with a spirit even stronger than when she started. The world's reaction when the shock resounds across the arena. Not long after the final whistle, social media exploded. Highlights of the match were shared everywhere. World shock. Philippine tennis princess, the comeback of the year. Alexandra Eala became the focus of international sports news sites. In the Philippines, fans cheered, spreading posters, and messages of support echoed across Facebook and Twitter. Commentators on international television referred to this match as a new defining moment. A young player who could defeat a veteran opponent in a marathon lasting over 3 hours. They analyzed the decisive shots, the energy conservation tactics, and the pressure moments. A former player commented, "Eala didn't win because of power. She won because of her grit and her cool head under pressure." But new pressures also followed. Journalists asked, can she maintain her form when facing Golubic, who is more rested? Sponsors are more interested, but expectations are also higher. The media will now delve into her training process, personal life, and small mistakes. And Eala must move forward while being scrutinized more than ever. That's when she has to prove not just one victory, but the sustainability of her entire career. The next section will show whether this shock was just a moment or a major turning point on her path. Behind-the-scenes breakdown, training, recovery, strategy before the big battle. Outsiders only see the final victory. But behind the scenes, Eala and her team went through rigorous recovery hours. The morning after the match, she went to the physical therapy room for massages, nerve mobilization, muscle stretching, and consumed special nutrition and hydration to recover quickly. Light exercises, joint rotations, and active recovery, because tomorrow would be another match, and she had to be healthy. That afternoon, she went to the court for light practice to maintain her feel for the ball, but didn't push her maximum power. Technique and strategy were thoroughly discussed. How to deal with Golubic, who specializes in slices and a one-handed backhand that disrupts the rhythm of many young players. The coaching team set up drills for low ball returns, accelerating early shots, and constantly changing the pace to break Golubic's tactical approach. In the evening, Eala sat with her coach, rewatching the match video against Minnen, analyzing small errors, second serves that were too attackable, shots that weren't deep enough, and moments of power that lacked precision. They discussed the strategy. Don't start the match with maximum effort, but conserve energy, waiting for the opportunity to attack. The prediction is that Golubic is fresher, so Eala must force the issue, shorten the rallies, and attack with variety. That night, Eala texted her family to thank them, listened to encouragement from fans, and went to bed early. Psychology plays a crucial role. The media has already started calling the next match a clash of class, and Eala knows. Winning this match isn't just a step into the semifinals. It's affirming that she is not a lucky fluke. She has to win with self-belief, strategy, and a sustainable spirit. The key to victory: tactical analysis that made history. The victory over Minnen was not just a physical contest. It was a test of supreme tactical execution. Alexandra Eala didn't just chase the ball. She forced Minnen to constantly move, change hitting directions, and pushed her opponent onto the defensive. This was a victory achieved through the strategic use of pace and psychological timing. A crucial point in Eala's strategy was not falling into the long rally trap, something Minnen excels at. Instead, Eala set a quick tempo, a powerful shot, followed by a sudden change in rhythm with a light slice or drop shot. This forced Minnen to move a lot, draining her energy and reducing her accuracy in key games. In decisive breakpoints, Eala focused her serves on the body or wide angles to pull Minnen out of the center position, opening up favorable spaces for attack. She also capitalized on Minnen's weak second serve, proactively attacking early, a sign of mental toughness. The deeper the match went, the better Eala demonstrated her superb emotional control. In tense moments when Minnen saved match points and brought the score back to balance, Eala didn't rush. She waited, forced errors, and eventually capitalized on her opponent's mistake to close out the match. This victory didn't just come from youthful energy. It came from maturity in reading the game and choosing the right moment to strike. That is the crucial foundation for the next encounter, where Eala must face the crafty Golubic. If Eala continues to apply flexible tactics, even without a physical advantage, she can completely shift the dynamics. The next scenario: a battle of wits between two generations. Viktorija Golubic is not a simple opponent. The 32-year-old Swiss player is a tactical artist on the court. In contrast to many power-focused opponents, Golubic is a rhythm breaker, specializing in slices, a one-handed backhand, and constantly changing tempo to make her opponent lose control. This is why many young talents have crumbled when facing her. However, Alexandra Eala is not entering the match with panic. On the contrary, she and her team have thoroughly analyzed Golubic's game. The opponent's weakness lies in her lack of speed when being pushed to her deep backhand side or when forced to return high balls, especially against heavy topspin. If Eala proactively targets the backhand, forcing Golubic to return high or use a slice in a defensive position, she can control the match. The second key strategy is to shorten the rallies. The previous match against Minnen drained too much energy. If she continues to engage in long rallies with Golubic, who has not expended much energy, Eala will quickly run out of steam. Therefore, the goal is to attack early within the first 3 to 4 shots, especially when there is a chance to counterattack off the second serve. Psychologically, Eala has the advantage of 2 consecutive narrow victories. Golubic has experience, but the pressure will also be higher to win against a young player who has attracted global attention. Eala needs to utilize her heightened spirit, combined with sharp strategies, to dominate the pace. This match is not just a test of strength, but a battle of wits between the art of disruption and youthful explosiveness. Whoever maintains composure and reads the game better will advance.